Here we go. Hey guys, my name is Alan Brown. I coach the defensive backs up here at Eastern Washington University. Um, have have been here for a couple years. Got back here in 2019. I actually played here from '09 to 2013. GA for a year after that, and then headed down to Cal Poly to be the corners coach there for a few seasons. So happy to be back at my alma mater. Think we have a bright future here. Looking forward to the fall and getting after it. Put my Twitter on here, my Twitter handle, and as well as my email. If anybody wants to hit me up about questions about this or any type of schematical things, whatever it may be, just hit me up and I'll make sure and respond. And um, would love to talk football or life or whatever it may be. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about some cover three stuff. We are actually as a base a match three defense, but with the match three stuff, the way that we play it, depending on the week, depending on the game plan, depending on our opponent, depending on um, a number of different factors. Okay, we can turn our match three stuff into just a normal 400 three deep cover three defense. So I'm going to just talk about some of the 400 three deep stuff as opposed to the match three stuff as we go through these slides today. Okay, if anybody has questions and want to talk about match three stuff, we can do that. Again, just shoot me an email or hit me on Twitter, and we can definitely do that. But okay, so get into it. Okay, cover three in terms of landmarks, in terms of just the overall being and how we go about it. Okay, 400 3 deep. We play with a boundary hook player, okay, and a field hook player. There's going to be a jam flat player on both sides, whether it's a jam flat or a buzz, whatever it may be. Okay, there's going to be flat players, and then we're going to have outside third players. Okay, anywhere from the hash to the sideline, and then we're going to have a post player who closes the middle of the field. Okay, if you look at it here, okay, again, we got a flat player to the field. Okay, field hook player with our linebacker there, boundary hook player with our weak side linebacker, and then a flat player with either our safety or a linebacker to the boundary. Okay, both corners are third players here. And then we have a safety in the post, which is the middle third of the field. Okay, just how we go about it here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so before I get into some of the schematical stuff and a bunch of film and stuff like that, I'm gonna just talk some technique stuff. In terms of press bail, a lot of the stuff that we do comes from a pressed look, just in terms of our shell. So a lot of times we'll start and press. We play a lot of press man, and when we do our match three stuff, we call it man unless, but we're in a press situation where we're working our technique from the line of scrimmage. So we love to show the same shell, and then get out of there based on timing, based on splits, things of that nature. Okay. So in terms of press bail, I talk about leverage, being able to see work. Okay. I talk about threats. Who are they? How fast are they? How fast can they threaten us? Are they a threat to us? A ton of different factors in that splits, all that stuff. Okay. We work an open hinge. And what we do with our press bail stuff, we'll talk about that. If we do bail from the line of scrimmage, that would be more game plan specific. But we work getting to a spot, and then working off a comfort level of how you can play a threat, where you can play a threat, and when you need to be able to get to that threat. Okay. We'll talk about all of these more as we go. Okay. Tempo is huge for me. Press bail, you guys will see some of these clips. If you get out too fast, it could get ugly for you. If you get out too slow, it could get ugly for you. Okay, so you got to make sure that your tempo is based off threats, and you can't drift. Okay, drifting is the number one thing, in my opinion, that happens in cover three, and guys end up in la la land or no man's land, and obviously bad things happen when you're just covering grass for no reason. Okay. Pad level. We'll talk about that as we go, but low front shoulder is going to help us out in this press build stuff. Okay. So, looking at leverage, right? Again, we like to see work in everything that we do. So we're just talking about right here a single threat. But even if we were to the boundary right here, okay, and we had another threat right here, I want this guy to line up outside of the number one receiver unless we get an ultra wide split. Okay, ultra wide split. What tells you that you have to line up inside of this guy is the ultra wide split, as well as the understanding that you have to be able to midpoint in certain situations where this guy can get to a seam. Okay. With wide splits, if we do get wide splits, I will have our guys play off as opposed to playing press. Okay. I don't want to put these guys in stressful positions where they have to midpoint. Number one receivers out here. Okay. They have to midpoint from all the way out at the red line. Okay. To get to the seam of number two. Okay, so if we do get wide splits, we'll just play off and get ourselves in a comfortable position to make plays on that seam ball by number two. Okay, but right here, okay, if we're just talking normal splits, we want to line up on this guy's outside shoulder, and when we bail, we want to make sure that we can see him with our peripherals. Okay, what I mean by peripherals is our eyes are not going to be on the man. They're going to be through to the quarterback if there is two threats. Okay, if there is one threat, we're going to see the quarterback and we're going to see the receiver with our peripherals. Okay, that tells me that we can see the action of the cue as well as fill out the receiver. Okay, so if it is three step, we already have in our head the understanding that the ball is going to come out quick. Now we know we got to understand what type of quick route we're going to get. Is it going to be a hitch? Is it going to be a quick out? Is it going to be a slant? Things of that nature. Okay. We will see some of this stuff as we go. Okay. Threats. Talking about threats is huge. Okay. There's times where you're going to have a single threat. There's times where you're going to have tight splits with multiple threats. Okay. Tight splits with one threat, wide splits with two, whatever it may be. But it is all about understanding, okay, who our threats are to our zone, okay, as well as how wide, how tight, or how normal their split is. Okay. So in this scenario, we know we got two threats, kind of like we talked about earlier. Okay. I'm the quarterback. Oh, what? Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. I am the quarterback. I am the quarterback back here somewhere, middle of the field. Okay. We have one threat here. We have two threat right here. Okay. We know that we can potentially get two threats getting into our third, right? So we have to put ourselves in a midpoint situation. I feel good about this kid being able to make a play on a seam route by number two from this alignment. Okay, I feel good about that. Do I feel good about it if he stays here at the line of scrimmage? Not necessarily. Okay, if he opens and hinges, yes, I do. Okay, that is the difference between press bail from the line of scrimmage and press bail from an open hinge look. Okay, with the open hinge, I know some people may say, okay, once you open hinge, we know that you're doing this, that, whatever. In terms of now you're playing cover three, well, we'll open hinge and we'll play a flat. We'll open hinge and we'll play bail man. We'll open hinge and we'll play our dose technique or palms, whatever it may be, whatever you guys may call it in cover four. Okay, so there's multiple things that we can do from this look as well as play this third. Okay. But in this situation right here, our eyes are going to be through to the quarterback, and the number two receiver is going to control our tempo. He goes vertical, okay? We're going to make sure that we match him vertically. We got to understand that there's no foot races in cover three, okay? And we're going to make sure that we stay on top of both receivers as much as possible. We play elimination thirds, okay? So we will get into that as we go. But the biggest thing here, again, is understanding our threats. Can we play outside leverage here? Absolutely. See one with our peripherals, match two while seeing him through to the quarterback. Okay? Now, again, same deal, right? We have two threats, but it changes up a ton. So now we're aligned outside of both threats, okay? And we got to make sure that we understand how fast, how quick can these guys attack us? Can they both attack us? Will they both attack us? Okay, right here, we're going to slow down our tempo based on tight splits. We know that we got a ton of help. Obviously, our flat players right here and me, okay, but we got a ton of help inside. And when I say inside, it's right next to us because of the tight splits. So we know that we can play the outside shoulder of both of these threats, okay? And we don't have to be fast with our tempo. We don't have to be fast with our tempo, okay? It's a little bit different in terms of having two threats and having to match both guys vertically with right here. They're giving us a break because if both these guys went vertical, okay, it's going to take them a while to get to where they need to be. Okay, so just understanding again in terms of threats, splits, okay, understanding how fast they can attack you, who they are in terms of personnel wise. Is it a tight end? Is it a speedy receiver, running back, whatever it may be? Okay, splits are huge. Okay, open hinge. Again, for us, okay, we don't press bail from the line of scrimmage as a base. Will we do it at times? Game plan base? Absolutely, no question. Okay, but as a base, when we line up and we're playing cover three, a true cover three concept, okay, we're going to open hinge from the line of scrimmage. Okay, open hinge from the line of scrimmage. One, that is going to help us matching number two if he's vertical. Okay, two, that is going to help us control ourselves if we are bailing. Okay, and we'll talk about the shuffles and stuff like that as we go. Okay, but right here, we're just open hinging and we're working a crossover run. Okay, you'll see that he was vertical on this one. Okay, right here, this is drifting. If you see him, okay, he's open and hinging. And when I say open hinge, okay, I'd like these guys to get to 5 yards and then get to a spot where they can shuffle, and play ball from there. Again, we'll talk about that technique as we go, okay? But the open hinge right here, if you see this kid as he goes, he's opening and hinging, and then when he bails for width. We don't want to bail for width. Okay? We want to bail vertically when we bail. Okay, looking at this kid here. Again, this is why in this scenario right here, this is why we want to open hinge. And now we want to take 2 shuffles at minimum. Okay, 2 shuffles at minimum. The reason why we're opening hinges is to give ourselves space, right? But now we're already open, okay? So we take away that transition of being square, okay? When we're square and the receiver steps on our toes, we have to open up and get out, right? When we're open hinged like this, okay, with our butt to the sideline, we don't have that transition no more. We're taking that away. So we feel good about getting 2 shuffles in, okay, and then reacting to either the quarterback or our threats. Right here, if you see this kid, okay, he gets his shuffles, and then he gets into a crossover run. Well, we have to understand our tempo is based off our threats and the quarterback. Right here, our threat is not stepping on our toes. So those shuffles, those 2 shuffles might turn into 3 shuffles. Those 3 shuffles might turn into 4 shuffles, just based on our threats and the quarterback. We're way too fast getting out right here, not able to get closer to that receiver. Okay, if we see it right here, we got the open hinge, shuffle. Okay, again, not great. I'd like to see him be even quicker. I think he gets into a crossover or a crossover too soon in terms of shuffle. If we see this kid here, he's in an open hinge position. Okay, he gets 1 shuffle, probably need another one. Okay, not bad getting back his eyes back to his man on the quick out and driving. Okay, again, I think we can take out this crossover that he has there and keep that a shuffle. We don't have the transition of a turn and burst, so we can be more patient and challenge guys to beat us vertically. That's the understanding of this open hinge piece. Okay, this is a good look at it. My man up top, right? He's pressed at the line of scrimmage. Both guys are. Okay, both guys get into an open hinge. Okay, if we're looking at this kid here, he's about 5 off. Okay, he actually gets to about 6 off, right? But if you see him up top, shuffle, he never gets into a crossover run. Okay, the emphasis this week was we have to challenge these guys to beat us vertically. Never gets into a crossover run. Okay, it's pretty damn good. in terms of being confident and sitting in there, understanding that we get the stem by the receiver. They like stem the inside route, getting on the upfield shoulder. Quarterback throws the ball late, ends up getting a pick. Pretty good job, again, of just challenging, right? We take away the transition so we know we don't have to be fast. Okay, low front shoulder, right? Low front shoulder. This is big. Okay, we got the open hinge, got a couple shuffles. Okay, in order for us to get out of our breaks, okay, just like a DB that's backpedaling, you got to keep your pads down. Okay, in order for us to get out of our breaks when we're bailing, your front shoulder has to be low. Okay, when your front shoulder is low, it's naturally going to keep your whole body low. Okay, so now if he is to break right here and come downhill, it's going to naturally be easier for him than it is with a guy with higher pad level. Okay, the art of a crossover run is sometimes passed by. Okay, it's something that if you're going to be a cover 3 team, you got to work. Okay, it's not very natural. Our eyes are inside. Okay, we got to make sure again that front shoulder is low. Okay, and then we just do it every day. Right, eyes inside, low front shoulder. If you see right here, some guys are cheating. This kid's cheating. He's not looking inside. Get your eyes inside, get your shoulder down, and just run. Just run. Just run. And yes, this is Cal Poly stuff, right? Eyes are not inside, so it doesn't look great. Okay, so now getting more into the schematics of it, right? Getting more into the schematics of it. Right, outside third, we're talking about a corner here. Okay, we got to understand our leverage and where our help is at. Obviously, if we're playing cover 3, our help is going to be inside of us. Okay, now how far is our help from us? That's the big thing. Okay, spacing and our threats is going to tell us everything we know. Spacing is huge. Spacing is huge. Spacing is huge. Okay, understanding again where our threats are at, how fast can they attack us? That is huge. Okay, zone concept until an offense tells us otherwise, right? That's what I was talking about in terms of elimination thirds. Okay, elimination thirds. If you look at this picture here with the tight end here that blocks, okay, initially, again, we'll have our eyes through 2 to the quarterback. Okay, once 2 eliminates, we're going to take our eyes to the number 1 receiver. Okay, once 2 eliminates, we're going to take our eyes to the number 1 receiver and play ball. So we can go from playing a true third to playing man unless. Okay, and for us, man unless equals man unless your guy drags. Okay, so if we look at the top left, 2 eliminates, we're now man to man on number 1. Okay, if we look at the bottom right, right, again, we're in this position where we're pressed bailed. Okay, we're open hinged. 2 goes out, he's eliminated. Now we are all of number 1. Okay, that's what I mean by elimination thirds. Okay, elimination thirds, you're still playing elimination thirds in this bottom left picture, but number 2 does not eliminate, right? Number 2 flies, we fly. We have to make sure that we stay on top of both routes in that picture. Through 2 to the quarterback, number 2 flies, we fly. Okay. Top right picture, okay. We're playing man unless. We got a single receiver. We only have 1 threat, so there is no midpoint situation. We will talk about that as we go. Okay. Big thing with cover 3 is you got to keep the ball in front of. We got to keep the ball in front of us. Okay. There can't be foot racers. And on the back side of our cover 3 stuff, we just play man unless, so it's a little bit different. There's times where we'll press bail the single receiver, and there's times where we'll just get up there and we'll play press man on it. Okay. Okay, talking about a nub edge, I'm going to take you guys through some of these edges in terms of how we play. Okay, 4x2 on a nub edge, a tight end here, we're just going to key all of him, and we're playing man unless. We don't give any ground. Okay, in these situations, we don't give any ground. We play outside leverage, all eyes on. If he down blocks, we're coming down. We have to fit. Okay, it's really a crack or place type of mindset. If he runs an arrow, okay, we're going to play flat to it. We're going to take it. Our flat player is not going to run with an arrow by the number 1 threat right here, which is the tight end, right? He's going to play all of the back. Okay, so if they do run some type of gun strong trips look right here, where they got the read zone action and they run an arrow with the RPO look, okay, the corner is going to take the arrow and the backer is going to hang for the quarterback. That's how we play. Okay. Looking at it here, right up top, I'd like that guy to be a little bit more square. Okay. But he's playing all of the tight end. Okay. Obviously, our backer has the back to the flat, but we're not going to let them dink and dunk on us with this tight end and just throw one in there for that spacing concept. Okay, so again, he runs vertical, awesome. If he runs a drag, if he was to just drag across the field, okay, we would hug to look for the first face. By first face, I mean the first face coming to us. Okay, I know this is not a nub, but this is a nasty split, and we would treat it very similar, right? The only thing that we're going to do is, again, going back to threats, understanding how fast they can attack us, who they are, right? We're going to back up. We're not going to play this dude 4x2, get our eyes lost in the sauce, and have him run past us, okay? So we're going to play our normal alignment. We're going to play 7 off and play ball with this dude. But we know that he can go right here and crack in a hurry, so we got to play more flat and understand that if he does crack, we got to come downhill. There's not a lot he can do from that position. Right? He runs an out route, awesome. Stay square, attack it downhill. If he does catch it, tackle it, third down, here we go. Not necessarily a nub, again, like I was saying, but a tight split that plays very similar to that nub look. Right? Solo edge, I don't know why it's doing this, but solo edge, okay, this is now the single receiver. Okay, so we'll play outside leverage, we'll press it. And there's times where we will press bail. There's times where we will press open hinge bail. And there's times where we will just play press man on this receiver. Okay. But we got man and less on this again, which means we are going to play man on this dude unless he drags across the field. If he drags, okay, we're going to think hug, which is going to tell us we're either replacing on a crack or we're climbing high for a first face that comes across the field. Right? So this is a decent look at it right here. Okay, my man up top, right? He's got somewhat of a nasty split. I think this dude's a yard inside of the numbers. Okay, we're thinking pier step, which is our press technique. This guy drags across. We're saying now. He should be pointing. There he goes. Now climb high for the first face. Pretty good job by that kid. Okay, this isn't cover 3 right here. This is actually cover 4, but we have the same rules in cover 4 in terms of the man unless concept. Okay, so he drags, we come off, look for the first face. Okay, different game plan. I think this is later in the game as well. I think we were up by a good margin here. Okay, so I may have told him to switch the technique up a little bit, but he's pressed Bill right here. And this is similar. He's open hinge. Okay. He shouldn't get into a crossover right here based on, okay, eyes on the quarterback with this guy here in his peripheral, right? If we have eyes on the quarterback, we see that's 3-step action, right? 3-step action shouldn't put us into a crossover run. If we can also see this guy in our peripherals, okay, we have 3-step action, shoulders to the sideline with the receiver in our peripherals, okay? We should be shuffle, and we should be to this quicker than we are. Now, am I going to get crazy on this kid? No, it's the fourth quarter. We tackle this guy for a 5-yard gain and it's third down, okay? So we're fine, but we can be better than we are here, okay? We can turn that 1 shuffle into a 2 shuffle and be closer to this route. But again, that's game plan deal. Usually as a base, we will be over there press man, playing man unless I should say, working our man-to-man press technique. Okay. I don't know why it's doing this, okay? Slot edge. Okay, so a slot edge. Now on a slot edge, if we're to the field, a lot of times we will be we'll be playing off, but to the boundary, okay, we will press build this 99% of the time. Okay. Again, our keys stay the same. We're going to look through 2 to the quarterback, okay, and we're going to be playing our third, right? With the slot edge, again, going back to it, we can have an elimination, and that'll turn us into a man-to-man situation as opposed to a third. Okay, looking at this picture, Again, it all comes down to threats. It all comes down to spacing and understanding what situation you're in, what scenario you're in. Okay, so reading this PowerPoint here. Okay, your third is anything outside of the hash and all the way to the sideline. Okay, we only have potential midpoint scenarios when we feel like multiple guys can threaten our zone. Okay. Tight splits, we can play outside of both threats. Normal splits, we must split them down the middle. Okay. Our eyes are through to the quarterback. Okay. So if we're looking at both of these pictures here, okay, looking at the one on the red, okay, our guy down here to the bottom 7, right? He has two guys that can threaten his third. There's no question. He can play outside leverage of both dudes because I feel very confident that he can make a play if both of these guys go vertical. Okay. Obviously, we got to get reroutes and stuff like that in terms of jam flat players. But we can see both threats in this picture from this alignment. Okay. Up top, it is different. Okay. Same field, same red field, but this guy has to play inside leverage of number 1, but he still has to understand that he's in a midpoint situation if both guys go vertical. Can both guys go vertical and get to his zone? Absolutely. Okay. 1, 2, they can both play outside of his hash very easily. So prior to the snap, he has a very good understanding of I have a potential midpoint scenario. Okay. A little different over here on this picture to the right, right? Okay. Playing at Idaho State. Okay. Man to the right. He's thinking he's man unless. I don't feel like either of these guys, and I guess if you got a real dude out there, if Tony Gonzalez is out there or something, yes, we probably played a little bit different. But right now for us, okay, we're going to play this dude man unless. We're not worried about these dudes attacking this outside third, okay? So we know up top, we're man unless. We only have one threat. We know down here, we're man unless as well. We only have one threat. Now, they motion this guy out to this hash or something like that, okay? Yeah, you'll have a midpoint scenario. But right now, we don't feel as if we have a potential midpoint scenario with this guy to the field here for us. Okay. So looking at this picture here, right? Both guys, they both had potential midpoint scenarios. Now, for us, I think this kid down here to the bottom, the safety, I think this is our match 3 stuff. So he may have gave the component that tells them they're both playing man unless, but up top, they're for sure playing true cover 3. Okay, so he knows up top that he has potential midpoint. He's in an open hinge. Okay, what happens here on this one, guys, is this receiver takes this inside release and he thinks that he eliminates. If you guys see his eyes pinned back to his man, okay, well, he actually changes lanes. The receiver, the rover for us, he does a good job keeping him out there, gets a good reroute, and it ends up happening that he does a good enough job on the number 1 receiver to where he feels comfortable looking back to the quarterback and actually falls back into this route, right? In this picture, okay, obviously we want 27 as to the sideline and now climbing high to low, this guy here, okay? But this is a good job by the corner understanding. I know he saw this guy late, but good job getting back in the picture and making a play on the football. Okay, so we have to understand that our eyes can't rock back to number 1 unless we truly see elimination. At this point right here, we got to understand that we got 2 threats in our third. Okay, we got to relax and make sure that we stay vertical. Okay, this is a 3-by-1 scenario. I want to say we're playing 3 cloud in this one. So this is a good look. Again, up top, we got the open hinge, right? But that's the open hinge to the flat, right? Open hinge to the flat. We talked about that a little bit in terms of the open hinge not always being a third. So now he's taking away actually the hitches and stuff like that up top while giving the same look that we would in just our press bail stuff, okay? Over here, okay, we're press bailing to the field. This is a good job by the nickel for us, getting a reroute on number 2, but a really good job by the corner, understanding he definitely has a midpoint situation right here. Okay, and if this quarterback throws it, okay, we got to go make a play on it. Really good understanding by him. Our post player actually needs to play this thing high to low while we'll go undercut it and try to go make a play on it. Okay, so that is, I guess there's 2 teaching clips in this one, with one being the open hinge to a flat and the other being the open hinge to midpoint. Okay, Again, right here, I think I want to say this is actually the picture that was the midpoint scenario, right? Both sides know in their thirds that they have potential midpoints. Okay, we have to make sure that we understand that these threats can threaten us in a hurry, and we have to make sure that we stay over the top of both of them. Okay, we rely on our jam flat players to get hands on and make sure that they either widen them out to us or tighten them in to the post player. Okay, up top, 27, he does a decent job of getting this route out to the corner. Okay, now the corner midpoints, and got all you got to do is catch the ball, and we're up to something. Okay. Now this one, I put this one on. Okay. Obviously, you get the trips look down here, the nub. Again, we're gonna play this man unless with 7 down here, right? All eyes on the quarter, or on the tight end, I should say. If he comes out to us, it doesn't matter. It's just like a number one receiver. At that point, we're thinking we are fitting outside of him in the run game, and we got a man-to-man in the pass game. Always have to honor him as if he's running a route. Okay. Up top, we're playing his third. Okay. Now this turns into elimination. Okay, once two bubbles, our eyes go to number one. Okay, number one's blocking. We got to put our foot in the ground and go get the ball. Turns into essentially a cracker place for those guys. So our third, again, can turn into elimination, can turn it into man. Okay, now looking at a cover three post play. Okay, cover three post play. So cover three post play for us is different than man to man post play. Okay, man to man post play, we'll play that more off of threats, personnel, who are their dudes. Okay, if they got a quarterback that can run the football, right, we'll slow him down. We'll make him the Q player. But in cover three, okay, it's different in terms of he's truly got to close the middle of the field. He's got to close the middle of the field. The way that we play our guys on the outside, we play them aggressive and greedy on inside releases and take risk on inside routes, but we trust that our post player is going to close that middle of the field. Okay. Um, in terms of the actual technique, okay, for us, the quarterback is everything for that post player. Okay, the quarterback is everything. We got to understand where our threats are at 100%, but at the end of the day, the quarterback is going to tell us the entire story, everything that we need to know. Okay, our threats are going to be big in terms of where they're at, who the quarterback likes throwing the ball to, where they're aligned splits wise, all of that. That all plays, of course. Okay, depth is going to be our friend. Okay, depth is going to be our friend. Again, the deeper you are with your depth, the slower you can be with your tempo, right? The deeper you are, the slower you can be, okay? The closer you are to the line of scrimmage, the faster you got to be. And again, that goes hand in hand with being able to get in and out of your breaks. The faster you are, the harder it is to get out of your breaks. So with that being said, you would love to be deeper. Okay, you don't want to give away your shell and stuff like that. But again, the deeper you are, the easier it is to play ball. Okay, that's why you see a lot of those NFL guys aligned at 30 yards and just playing everything downhill. Okay, but for us, really, it's a game plan deal with what we want to show that week, or if we want to control our disguises, whatever it may be, in terms of the depth of the safety. Okay, trust your teammates. Trust your teammates. Okay, so we our match three stuff and 3x1s. We have a 3-up player with our weak side hook player, boundary hook player. Okay, so we got to understand that in those scenarios we can be a little bit greedier to that two seam, right? We can be a little bit greedier to that two seam. That plays. We have to trust our teammates. Okay, again, we have to trust our teammates in terms of our corners and our jam flat players. We shouldn't have to make plays outside of the numbers, right? We have to protect the middle of the field. Okay, trust your teammates. All of that plays. Okay, I don't know why I was doing this. Sorry, guys. So we have to understand action. Action is huge for us, and the way that we design the way that we talk about our technique in the post. Okay, he's got to understand RPOs, 3-step, 5-step, play action, sprint, whatever it may be. Okay, we know that RPOs and 3 steps are going to be downhill breaks, right? That's going to be quick game. We got to understand the splits, who he's going to, and where the quarterback's shoulders are going. Okay. Okay, so looking at this first one, right, it's not a great break or anything like that, right? The safety up top actually does a good job picking this off, but it's more of the understanding of the post player. Okay. Tempo, right? Yeah, good. Okay. Be able to put your foot in the ground and come downhill. So if this play isn't made, we're there to tackle it, right? He ends up falling and stuff like that. It's snowing outside. Okay? But just the understanding of, yes, this is RPO. We got to put ourselves in a position to come downhill, take our eyes to our threat, and go make a play if needed. Oh, God. I don't, sorry about that. Okay, I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, 5 step, right? 5 step is going to be different than 3 step in terms of downhill. It's not going to be probably not going to be downhill, right? We're a true post player at that point. We want to try to stay square as long as possible. There's times when we'll crossover run to the post, but we want to get square if it is 5 step, right? We want to get to the true post. We want to stay square and we want to play off of the quarterback again. Okay, we have indicators quarterback intel that's going to tell us where the ball is going and put us in position to put our foot in the ground and go make plays on the football. Okay, so the things that we talk about are quarterback look off, big back foot, and the quarterback pulling the pin. Okay, these are indicators that the ball is going to be coming out. Right, QB look off. Right, so in this picture, okay, I'll show you guys the end zone look. Let's see it. Okay. If you look at the quarterback here, he looks to what is our left as a defense and comes back to his right. We know right there it's not going to go left, right, and then come back left. So we know in our head that the ball is going to come to this side. Our foot should be in the ground. We should be coming downhill, ready to make a play. Now, the technique with the safety that's dropping down to that guy is not great at all. He should be there to make a play, but this is a good job just understanding where you need to be in terms of making a play. Okay, what I say in terms of landmarks and where you got to be able to make a play, okay, safeties as a post player, if the ball is thrown 18 yards and inside the hash, you need to be able to make a play. Okay. If the ball is thrown 18 yards and outside the hash, okay, outside thirds or corners, whoever's out there, you need to be able to make a play. Now, again, it comes down to trusting your teammates. We got to get reroutes. We got to get backers and windows and those hooks, okay, because all of that stuff applies in being a great cover three team. Okay. But that's just the understanding of quarterback look off. Okay. Big back foot, right? When I say big back foot, I'm just talking about the quarterback getting to that back foot. Once he gets to that back foot, a lot of times that ball is coming out. Okay, you get the big back foot right here with the pull the pin. And there you go. Okay, for in this picture right here, this is a little bit different because this is man free, but it's just the understanding of it. Okay, in terms of the break by the post player. So if we look at it here, okay, we got a back foot right there. Our foot is already in the ground. Okay, our foot is already in the ground. Okay, we're heading to where we need to be. The corner does a good job making this guy go inside of him. We love inside release fades. Can't harp on that enough, but really good job showing range right there going to go get that football. Okay, pull the pin. And this is what all these slides should look like. I apologize. I don't know why it does that. Okay, pull the pin. Right. So in that last one, you got the pull the pin plus the big back foot, which usually you'll get when the ball is thrown a little bit deeper. Okay. Right here, I want to say we are playing. Okay. We're bringing the corner. We're playing. We got a corner cat right here. Again, this comes down to trusting your teammates. Our guy right here, he needs to get a reroute through number 2 to get to his flat. Okay. Does he do that? No. Okay. Our safety is in the post. It's a good job for the most part, holding the shell by him. He's in the post. He's playing all off the quarterback. Quarterback pulls the pin, and he's already breaking. Okay, so pull the pin. What I mean by that is just taking his hands. He might pat it once. Okay, taking his hands off that second time. He's truly pulling the pin of that grenade, and now the ball is coming out. Okay, so his foot is in the ground, and the ball is still in the quarterback hand. Okay, if we were to get a reroute, I feel good about him really making a play in terms of getting that ball right here. He ends up getting a pretty decent hit on this kid. But again, we need our linebacker to get a reroute through to that number 1 receiver. Okay, see if we get a little bit better look at it here from the end zone. Okay, bang, pull the pin. Again, the ball's not out, but my man right here is already on his way to go make a play. Okay, if we get more depth by 18, he's got a chance as well. But it comes down to 32 not rushing to get out there. Just run through that guy's inside shoulder, either make him go inside of you or make him go outside and go to the outside third player. Okay. Now, play action pass. Now, we know when it's play action pass and we in a post. Okay. So if we do get some type of action, run game action, and then he's dropping back to throw his bombs over, now we know we got to get out of there. Okay. The ball is going deep. If they go play action and they run a curl, awesome. Clap it off. Nobody cares. Okay. But when we think play action, we're now thinking that that ball is going over the top. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys this picture here. Obviously, this is an NFL clip, but my man right here, he gets play action, and right here, he slows down. He sees that action, he slows down. Well, guess what happens? Eats his angle up, and now you got Tavon Austin hitting his head on the goalpost. Okay, if he would have did the opposite, right here, he sees play action, and now he starts moving. He's got a chance. He should pick this ball off, but he does play action, slow down, and now the ball's thrown over his head. Okay, so as soon as we see this action right here by Dak, oh my goodness, we know what's going on. There's not a lot else that can happen in play action scenarios. Make them run a comeback, make them run a dig, nobody cares. Okay, when we see play action, we have to protect the middle of the field and get out of there. Okay, lean post, that is a schematic understanding. Again, that comes down to our boundary hook, 3-up players. Understanding that they're going to take care of 3 going up the backside seam while we can cheat to that field seam. Okay, I didn't put a clip on there. Okay, jam flats, again, I'm sorry for the confusion with the words here. Okay, but jam flat players for us, okay, we're dropping down on number 2, whether it's our safety or our will backer or our nickel, okay, whoever it may be. Okay, understanding spacing is major. Okay, understanding spacing is major. Understanding if guys are going to try to attack you inside, across your face, or understanding if you're going to end up being a true buzz player based on guys that can attack the seams. All that stuff matters. Okay, when you're a jam flat player, you got to make sure that you take care of the seam. Just like that picture we saw where the post player broke on that boundary seam. Okay, if we would have had our jam flat player, that would have helped a ton. Okay, square feet as opposed to crossover. Don't cross over and just run to people. Okay, play square, play through their inside shoulder, and then get to where you need to be. Okay, physical through number 2. Okay, we're not just pillow fighting and letting guys just go where they want to go. Okay, we want to be physical through that number 2 receiver. Okay. When we talk landmarks, okay, we talk landmark in terms of boundary and field. To the boundary, we want to get 10 yards, 10 to 12, right? And the red line to the boundary. Okay, the red line for us is going to be splitting the sideline and the numbers. Okay, and then to the field, we talk about 10 to 12 and the bottom of the numbers. Okay, so a little bit different in terms of the distance of the throw. And the timing of it as well. Okay, no seam threats is going to equal a buzz for us. Okay, so looking at this picture right here up top, or sorry, not up top, but down here. Okay, my man is dropping inside out. Okay, and he gets 10 to 12 and the red line. Okay, takes away that throw. Pretty good job by that kid. Okay, up top, again, we would like this guy to hold off that seam, okay, and we want him to turn and run to get to, again, the bottom of the numbers as opposed to already kicking open and playing butt to the sideline. Okay, we need to get him further out there before he does that. But good job to the boundary here by this safety, and this is what the quarterback wanted, so that's major. Okay, now looking here, right here, this is a bad job. Okay, and NAU right here does a good job. This is 2019. They did a good job of a lot of this stuff, okay, to try to confuse our jam flat players. Right here, we want to stay inside out to this new number 2, jam through his inside shoulder, and then get to the flat. That dude slips us inside, so now we got free seams. The last thing we want is free seams. Okay. This is a middle of the field look, so kind of wonky a little bit, right? Dropping down. Okay, he's our jam flat player up top. Does a phenomenal job here. All right, bang through number 2, butt to the sideline. He's 10 to 12. He's on the red line. Okay, awesome. Now you put our corner in a position where he's guarding 2 vertical guys in one area. It's not even a midpoint at that point. He's just playing vertical and has an opportunity to make a play, but the ball skills aren't quite there. We got to make those, baby. Okay, we got this one here. This is a good job by this kid, okay? Whenever we're a jam flat player, we also have, okay, 2 on the out. If he outs, we also have him on the wheel, right? Okay, so good job by this kid. Staying square, take him on the out, keep your eyes, control your man, foul ball. Nice job. Okay, this is actually a boundary sim pressure. We would bring our safety right here through the B gap, okay? But we actually switched this because 2 were extended, so now we're bringing him in a B and we're dropping him down as our jam flat player. Okay, he comes down. Tight end doesn't do a great job of getting to where he needs to be, so he just gives him a bump to where he wants him to go. He starts his path to 10 in the bottom of the or 10 in the red line. Okay, gets there. Quarterback ends up throwing him. Again, he lands exactly where we tell him to go. Right there, 10, red line, pick. Nice job by that kid. Major. Okay, now for us, we also use our DBs as field hook players. Okay, so for us, the field hook is going to be 10 to 12, and on the field hash. Okay, the biggest thing with this is we got to understand if it is back 2 or back away. Okay, we understand that we're an edge fit off of number 3, very man-like. Okay, so my man, my fit, really. Okay, we got to hold off the RPO window if we get back to us, right? If we do get this look right here, let's say this top look. If number 3 goes vertical and they just run some type of inside zone RPO pop, right? We're gonna lose our backer inside of us, our will backer, Mike backer inside of us. He's gonna fit. He's gonna fit that A, smoke the A. So we got to make sure that we hold off that window. That's just a quick understanding of what we got. Pass wise. Okay. And again, our landmark is going to be field hash plus or minus 1, 10 to 12, play ball. Okay. I tell these guys in terms of alignment to hover 3. If you get a wide split, okay, we're going to play inside of number 3. If you get a normal split, we'll play head up with number 3. If you get a tight split, we'll play outside of number 3. Okay. So in this picture, we're inserting our safety. Okay. He's outside of number 3 because he has a tight split. Okay, we get jam flat. He needs to go. Okay, he's ending up in that field hook window. Okay, sit, ball out break on the quarterback, drive on the outside leg. Nice job by him. Okay, so again, here we're inserting. So we got our jam flat player, our field hook player dropping down into it. This is empty. Okay, so our fit is off of number 3. Okay, fit is off number 3. Obviously, if 3 runs a bubble, we're just inside out to the football. He cracks, awesome. This will be a replace. If he comes to block us, inside out, go make the play. So that's what happens right here. Okay, he comes to block the jam flat player. You fit outside, set the edge. You come inside out and go make the play. Nice job by those 2. Okay, this is situationally based, 3rd and 1,000,000. Okay, now we're playing our field hook right here from probably 12 yards or so, right? So now he knows he just got to sit. He's already at his landmark, come downhill. Okay, if it does end up getting caught, awesome, is 4th down. This guy actually drops it into our hands and ends up being a pick. That's more situationally. We're already lined up in our landmark, playing downhill to all routes. Okay, so again, Alan Brown. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Okay, if you guys have any questions or want to talk about match 3 as opposed to just basic cover 3, it's all good, man. Hit me up. I'm an open book. Would love to hear from you guys. Appreciate it.